First of all, thank you all for being here. Thank you to Pitch Breakfast for putting the event on. Really appreciate it. And again, just happy to see all these smiling faces here this morning. My name is Zach King. I'm a co-founder of AUTOBOTIT, and we're revolutionizing retail. Convenience stores are facing significant challenges. Labor costs at convenience stores have increased such that the average convenience store is now paying $50,000 per month in sales labor. Add to that collectively, stores are losing about $50 billion each year in theft. Consumer demands for more streamlined, more convenience, more efficiency add to this frustration. AUTOBOTIT offers a solution. We've developed a modular, automated retail system that directly addresses all of these issues. Our technology allows consumers to select items on their phone or at a kiosk and have them delivered instantly via robots. This reduces sales labor by as much as 70% and prevents theft through controlled access. It also improves the customer experience because it shortens waiting lines, waiting times. It allows customers to find what they're looking for faster, and it allows pickup anytime, 24/7. Now, unlike traditional automated systems that are complex and costly, AUTOBOTIT has a careful design that allows affordable, customizable, scalable solutions. And this doesn't disrupt existing operations. All we need is a room with a relatively flat floor, and we can install an AUTOBOTIT. The business model is to deliver this as a robots as a service, meaning that for a subscription fee, we'll handle installation, continued operation, maintenance, and software integration and updates. There are over 150,000 convenience stores in the United States. There's 1 million more in-person retail establishments. So obviously the addressable market here is enormous. Now this is where I wanted to show you how it works. And unfortunately, you have to adapt. This is the beginning of the video, and unfortunately, it's the only part that you will see today. So I invite you to go to our website, autobotit.com, or look us up on YouTube or LinkedIn. Plenty of videos available there. Again, my apologies. I'll briefly describe sort of how it works. There are bots. They're on a 3-dimensional system of chains and rails, and they go pick up items and they deliver items. If you've seen warehouse picking machines, broad strokes, it's similar to that. This past summer in August, we opened our concept store just outside Knoxville, Tennessee. And this store was a big milestone for us because it was sort of our proof of tech and the beginning of our minimum viable product. It really showed that this technology is viable, it works, and we're able to deliver. Another great milestone that we're actually either today or tomorrow we'll be finishing the filing for our non-provisional patent application to protect AUTOBOTIT's core mechanical features. Now let me speak to the team that's creating the AUTOBOTIT, starting with my father, Rodney. My dad's a former submariner in the U.S. Navy, school teacher and robotics coach. He's been refining this process, this concept for 20 years. And joining him is my brother Dan, who's an electrical engineer. Dan also is the head of our software development. He has experience at places like Cisco and Oak Ridge National Lab. And then finally myself, I'm a Duke Law attorney, a Duke Law graduate, former big law attorney, And I've spent the last 10 years in leadership roles with various startups. I really do believe that our team with our complementary skills is poised to be the folks that revolutionize retail. We'll soon be opening a round of seed funding, and we're attempting to raise about $1 million to build a small software team and to scale production. The goal is to establish pilots with key retailers. Our focus is on building in the Southeast. So finally, my ask. I have two asks. The first is that if you have any contacts that are in operations, logistics, innovation, in the retail business, convenience stores or otherwise, I would definitely appreciate introductions. And the second is that if you have any friends that are angel investors or invest in early stage companies, I'd also appreciate warm introductions. Thank you so much. Please get in touch via email or talk to me after the event. I'm excited to tell you even more about this.
All right. Well, good job. I got a couple questions, and then I'll give you sort of some feedback. So, who sells on your team, right? It seems like you've got 2 technologists and a lawyer, and I'm just trying to figure out who's in charge of getting the sales.
I'm in charge of sales, and we have a marketing consultant that assists me.
Okay, gotcha. And I struck me as your title is Chief Legal Officer. Is that right?
Yes.
Is there a deep amount of like legal complicated, like what in this particular business, is there something that requires like really deep legal expertise?
You mean more so than just any other startup, I would say.
Yeah.
I mean, my background's in financial derivatives. It's not nearly the level of regulatory complexity that I had in that case. It's really just, we're all co-founders. We all wear many hats. It's just it's not meant to have a lot of meaning behind it. Or
okay. I was just trying to understand. So let me give you a couple, like just kind of a broad feedback, and then I'll get specific. So the way I always describe a pitch is you have 6 minutes to get the next meeting, right? That's really the only goal of any pitch. And in that, the most important thing is you want to tell this story, this compelling story that gets me excited about having that next pitch. And usually you have kind of the same chapters to that story. It goes, the problem exists, I know a solution, our product is that solution, the market's big, we're different than the competitors, here's how we make money, here's how we're selling it. Our team is the best. You can see it in the traction that we've got, and here's my ask, right? It's like you kind of tell the same story every given time. So I think you did a good job of helping me understand the problem. I think I came away getting a sense of what that looked like. I'm going to assume that your video was going to give me a good perspective on the product. I do like, sometimes, especially things that are more technically complex, the more visual I can see it, the better. Sometimes people like to explain it and think I get it, but oftentimes I don't. And I think that you did a very good job of telling me about what you needed the money for and what your asks. I think those were the ones that were really, really well done. I think first, less words, more picks in a pitch, right? Anything that's wordy, the audience starts to read it and like not tune into the storytelling that's being told. So I think there's a lot of opportunity to professionalize that through there. I'm guessing that, are you sort of newer to the pitch on this one, or how many times have you given it at this point?
So you mean like a live pitch?
Yeah.
This is the second time I've done a live pitch. Yeah. There's a reason that I'm not a litigator, right? This isn't my comfort zone.
Yeah, I think so. What I always think, so in this same derivative of saying like, tell me this story, one of the most important things that I always take away is how conversational the person telling me it is, right? So if you were to sit here and do I believe that without notes and without this, you could describe this problem to me? If that's the case, then you're probably an expert, right? You live the problem, you understand it viscerally, you could probably recall every fact, every nook and cranny. But when you sort of like give me a presentation, then I start to wonder whether you just are good at putting together notes or whether you have that level of domain. I know it's these weird, nonverbal cues in some ways, but for me, as I'm watching someone give me a presentation, the more conversational that it is, the more I think that that person is an expert. So I think as you move on, I think move away from the words, just kind of think of this as just like your visual background that's telling the story that you want to tell. Get up here, really conversationally dive in, stick to the chapters that I want to hear, like really concisely. And I think one thing that was missing was like help me contextualize it from a competition perspective. I really don't get a sense of how you play within the market and what other convenience stores or other people are doing. But it's always tough to go first, so I appreciate you doing that.
Thank you.
So Zach, I did watch your video. I always cheat the night before, so I have seen it in action. I'm not sure if it's your backstory on the website or if it's your brother's, but I think that's really relevant to your story here. I love pitches that are storytelling and kind of kicking off with your backstory and why you invented the robotics side of things and your experience going into a convenience store. You write all that out, or maybe it's your brother. That was my father. That was your father. Wrote all that out on the website. I think that backstory is really relevant here and would probably suck the audience in, to start your pitch. That being said, I'm confused a little bit on the convenience store. I worry, is there enough space in a convenience store? And I think of a convenience store as, oh, I need something rapidly, so I stop by. I think this technology would apply to a Home Depot or a Walmart where there's a lot more space and there's more pre-planning involved to go to a Home Depot than there would be a convenience store. I assume the technology is ubiquitous and it could play in all of those environments. But that was kind of my first reaction, because I'll tell you, and I don't know if others have this same experience. I go to Home Depot and I have my list of stuff that I want to get, and it's like, oh, there's 100 different aisles. I have no idea. I've been using the app to find where the aisle and bin is, but man, if I could do that ahead of time and a robot brings it up to the front and I can just pick it up, that sounds great. So I'd love to hear your thoughts on that. I also have the same exact list as Chris does here of my 8 things I like to see in the pitch. He kind of ran through it. The 2 things I didn't hear in your pitch were how do you make money and the competition, which Chris also referred to. So that was a mouthful. I'll let you respond to that.
No, sure. First of all, I mean, your intuition about sort of the agnostic view of the technology is correct. We chose convenience stores as sort of our target for a number of reasons. We definitely considered other options. To your point about Home Depot and Lowe's, I mean, not only what you said, but if you take like people who work for a living, the folks that head out to the work site, if they could at 4 or 5 in the morning go pick up what they need, that's saving time, which is making money. I mean, it even goes a little bit deeper.
And have that happen at 4 a.m.
Yeah, when the store's not open.
When the robotics could work behind the scenes.
No, exactly. And I've gone to the Home Depot in Matthews, and they, all the power tools are locked up now. More and more stuff is locked up. And that's also a pain. It's a pain for the employees too. I talked to them about it. They don't like it. No one likes that. So definitely take your point on that. As far as how we make the money, I did mention that it's a robots as a service model, but there's
So is it going to be an ongoing service fee to use the technology, or will there be an upfront cost to purchase the Peloton model? You buy the hardware up front and then you pay a service fee.
So what we'll do, and there's tight margins in retail, right? So we're going to sort of amortize the installation fee over the course of the contract, and then have a early termination, a graduated early termination fee. So like for instance, like a 2,000 bin unit would sort of be like a really introductory type model, and that would be about $7,500 a month. Is give or take. We're not completely there on pricing, but about that covers the installation too. So all we'd ask for is just the first month up front.
How many months until you break even on a robot? So at $7,500 a month, how much until you get what's your payback period on one?
Okay, sorry. No, well, I guess it depends on how you're looking at it. Like about 83% of the robot is easily salvageable. So from the standpoint of the asset, it's not long before we've recovered. Like in terms of the full cost to build, we would probably be about a year and a half to be sort of before everything's sort of gravy after that.
Thanks so much. Good luck.
Okay.